practice of electrical contractors falsely claiming state licensing is unethical and potentially dangerous. Firstly, it violates established ethical standards for businesses to misrepresent their credentials. Secondly, it is illegal in some jurisdictions to claim a license that you do not hold. Unlicensed contractors may not have the necessary training and experience to perform electrical work safely. False claims of licensing can lead to increased risk of electrical fires, accidents, and injuries. Contractors who falsely claim licensing gain an unfair advantage over law-abiding businesses. It undermines the integrity of the electrical industry and erodes consumer trust. Consumers may be misled into hiring unlicensed contractors who put their safety at risk. They may not receive the quality of work they deserve, as unlicensed contractors may cut corners or lack the necessary expertise. Consumers and businesses can report contractors who falsely claim licensing to the appropriate authorities. Industry associations and consumer protection agencies can increase public awareness about the importance of hiring licensed contractors. Some states have implemented licensing programs to prevent this type of fraudulent activity. Electrical contractors who falsely claim state licensing are engaging in unethical and potentially harmful practices. It is important to hold them accountable and prioritize the safety and integrity of the electrical industry. To elaborate, ethical standards in any profession, including electrical contracting, are built upon principles of honesty, integrity, and responsibility. Misrepresenting one's qualifications, such as falsely claiming to hold a license, directly contradicts these principles. It erodes the public's trust in the profession and creates an uneven playing field for those who adhere to ethical business practices. In many jurisdictions, falsely claiming to be licensed is not only unethical but also illegal. These laws are put in place to protect consumers from unqualified individuals performing work that could potentially endanger lives and property. The penalties for violating these laws can include fines, legal action, and even criminal charges. One of the most significant concerns associated with unlicensed electrical contractors is the potential for safety hazards. Electrical work involves inherent risks, and without proper training and experience, individuals may not be able to identify and mitigate these risks effectively. This can lead to faulty wiring, overloaded circuits, and other electrical problems that can increase the risk of electrical fires, shocks, and other accidents. False claims of licensing create unfair competition in the electrical contracting industry. Legitimate contractors who have invested time and resources in obtaining the necessary training, certifications, and licenses are disadvantaged when competing against those who misrepresent their qualifications. This can lead to a race to the bottom in terms of pricing and quality, ultimately harming the industry as a whole. Consumers who are unaware of the potential risks may be misled into hiring unlicensed contractors based on false claims of licensing. These consumers may not realize that they are putting their safety at risk and that the work performed may not meet industry standards or comply with electrical codes. In addition, unlicensed contractors may be more likely to cut corners or use substandard materials in order to save money, further compromising the quality and safety of their work. There are several steps that can be taken to address the issue of electrical contractors falsely claiming state licensing. Firstly, consumers and businesses can report suspected cases of false claims to the appropriate authorities, such as consumer protection agencies or licensing boards. These reports can trigger investigations and potential enforcement actions against the offending contractors. Secondly, industry associations and consumer protection agencies can play a vital role in educating the public about the importance of hiring licensed contractors. This can include providing information on how to verify a contractor's license, the risks associated with hiring unlicensed individuals, and the benefits of working with qualified professionals. Thirdly, states can strengthen their regulations and licensing programs for electrical contractors. This can include implementing stricter requirements for obtaining and maintaining a license, increasing enforcement efforts, and imposing tougher penalties for violations. The goal is to create a regulatory framework that deters fraudulent activity and protects the public from unqualified individuals. In conclusion, Electrical contractors who falsely claim state licensing are engaging in unethical and potentially harmful practices. It is essential to hold them accountable and prioritize the safety and integrity of the electrical industry. By reporting false claims, educating consumers, and strengthening regulations, we can create a safer and more trustworthy environment for electrical work. Furthermore, consider the broader implications of such fraudulent activities on related industries and the economy. For example, falsely claiming expertise or certifications could extend to other trades like plumbing, HVAC, and general construction. When these practices become widespread, it can undermine the entire construction sector, leading to compromised infrastructure and potential economic losses. The role of technology in combating this issue is also worth exploring. Online databases and verification systems can be established to allow consumers to easily check the licensing status of contractors. These systems can be linked to state licensing boards and updated in real time, providing accurate and reliable information. Mobile apps could also be developed to enable quick verification of licenses at job sites. Another critical aspect is the promotion of continuing education and professional development within the electrical contracting industry. By encouraging contractors to stay up to date with the latest technologies, codes, and safety practices, we can enhance their skills and knowledge, making them more valuable to consumers and less likely to engage in unethical behavior. This can be achieved through industry-sponsored training programs, workshops, and online courses. The legal framework surrounding electrical contracting should be clear and consistent across different jurisdictions. This includes defining the scope of work that requires a license, establishing minimum qualifications for licensure, and outlining the penalties for operating without a valid license or making false claims. Consistency in these regulations can help to prevent confusion and ensure that contractors are held to the same standards regardless of location. Insurance coverage is another important factor to consider. Licensed electrical contractors are typically required to carry liability insurance, which protects consumers in the event of accidents, property damage, or other issues arising from the contractor's work. Unlicensed contractors may not have such coverage, leaving consumers vulnerable to financial losses. Consumer education campaigns should emphasize the importance of verifying insurance coverage before hiring an electrical contractor. The role of trade associations and professional organizations in promoting ethical conduct and combating fraud cannot be overstated. These organizations can establish codes of ethics for their members, provide resources for resolving disputes between contractors and consumers, and advocate for policies that protect the public interest. They can also play a role in educating contractors about their legal and ethical obligations. The media can also play a significant role in raising awareness about the issue of electrical contractors falsely claiming state licensing. By reporting on cases of fraud, highlighting the risks associated with hiring unlicensed contractors, and featuring stories of consumers who have been harmed, the media can help to inform the public and hold accountable those who engage in unethical behavior. The long-term consequences of allowing this type of fraudulent activity to continue unchecked are significant. It can erode public trust in the electrical contracting industry, discourage qualified individuals from entering the profession, and create a culture of impunity that encourages further misconduct. Addressing this issue requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including government agencies, industry associations, consumer protection groups, and individual consumers. By working together, we can create a safer, more ethical, and more trustworthy electrical contracting industry. Furthermore, it is important to consider the impact of technology and innovation on the electrical contracting industry. As new technologies emerge, such as smart home systems, electric vehicle charging stations, and renewable energy installations, electrical contractors must adapt and acquire the necessary skills to install and maintain these systems safely and effectively. Licensing programs should be updated to reflect these advancements and ensure that contractors are properly trained and qualified. Another aspect to consider is the role of inspections and code enforcement. Regular inspections of electrical work can help to identify and correct code violations, ensuring that installations are safe and compliant. Code enforcement officials should be properly trained and equipped to detect fraudulent activity and take appropriate action against unlicensed contractors. The issue of electrical contractor licensing is not limited to Pennsylvania. Many other states and countries have similar regulations in place to protect the public from unqualified individuals performing electrical work. It is important to learn from the experiences of other jurisdictions and adopt best practices for licensing, enforcement, and consumer protection. In addition to formal licensing programs, there are also voluntary certification programs that electrical contractors can participate in to demonstrate their expertise and commitment to quality. These certifications can provide consumers with an additional level of assurance when hiring an electrical contractor. However, it is important to verify that these certifications are legitimate and recognized by the industry. The economic impact of hiring unlicensed electrical contractors can be significant. In addition to the risks of shoddy workmanship and safety hazards, unlicensed contractors may also be less likely to pay taxes, workers' compensation insurance, and other required fees. This can create an unfair advantage over licensed contractors who comply with all applicable laws and regulations. The enforcement of electrical codes and licensing requirements is essential for ensuring public safety and protecting consumers. However, enforcement efforts can be challenging due to limited resources and the difficulty of detecting unlicensed contractors. Innovative strategies are needed to improve enforcement effectiveness, such as using data analytics to identify potential violations and collaborating with other agencies to share information. The role of education in preventing electrical accidents and promoting safety cannot be overstated. Consumers should be educated about the dangers of electricity and the importance of hiring qualified electrical contractors. The electrical contractors should also be provided with ongoing training and education to stay up to date with the latest codes and safety practices. The use of technology in electrical work is increasing rapidly. Electrical contractors are now using software, mobile apps, and other tools to design, install, and maintain electrical systems. It is important for licensing programs to incorporate training on these technologies to ensure that contractors are able to use them safely and effectively. The electrical contracting industry is constantly evolving. New technologies, materials, and methods are being developed all the time. It is important for electrical contractors to stay informed about these changes and adapt their practices accordingly. This can be achieved through continuing education, industry publications, and participation in professional organizations. The issue of electrical contractor licensing is complex and multifaceted. There is no single solution that will eliminate fraudulent activity and ensure public safety. However, by working together, government agencies, industry associations, consumer protection groups, and individual consumers can make progress towards creating a safer, more ethical, and more trustworthy electrical contracting industry. A key aspect of maintaining ethical practices is transparency. Electrical contractors should be transparent with their clients about their qualifications, experience, and pricing. They should provide clear and detailed contracts that outline the scope of work, payment terms, and warranty information. This helps to build trust and avoid misunderstandings. Conflict resolution mechanisms are also important for addressing disputes between electrical contractors and their clients. Mediation and arbitration can provide a less costly and time-consuming alternative to litigation. These processes allow both parties to come together and find a mutually agreeable solution. The use of social media and online reviews has become increasingly prevalent in the electrical contracting industry. Consumers often rely on online reviews to make decisions about which contractors to hire. Electrical contractors should be aware of their online reputation and take steps to manage it effectively. This includes responding to reviews, addressing complaints, and soliciting feedback from clients. In addition to technical skills, electrical contractors also need strong business management skills. This includes budgeting, marketing, customer service, and contract negotiation. Training programs should incorporate these skills to help contractors run successful and ethical businesses. The role of mentorship in the electrical contracting industry is also important. Experienced contractors can provide guidance and support to younger contractors, helping them to develop their skills and build their careers. Mentorship can also help to promote ethical behavior and prevent fraudulent activity. The electrical contracting industry is a vital part of the economy. Electrical contractors provide essential services that are necessary for homes, businesses, and infrastructure. It is important to support this industry and ensure that it is operating in a safe, ethical, and sustainable manner. The long-term viability of the electrical contracting industry depends on attracting and retaining qualified individuals. This requires creating a positive work environment, providing competitive wages and benefits, and offering opportunities for advancement. The electrical contracting industry is constantly facing new challenges. These include rising energy costs, increasing regulations, and the need to adapt to new technologies. By working together, electrical contractors can overcome these challenges and continue to provide essential services to their communities. The importance of electrical safety cannot be overstated. Electrical accidents can cause serious injuries and even death. It is important for everyone to be aware of the dangers of electricity and to take precautions to prevent accidents. This includes hiring qualified electrical contractors, following electrical codes, and using electrical equipment safely. The electrical contracting industry is a dynamic and rewarding field. Electrical contractors play a vital role in our society, providing essential services that make our lives easier and safer. By upholding ethical standards, promoting safety, and embracing innovation, electrical contractors can ensure the continued success of their industry and contribute to the well-being of their communities. The adoption of sustainable practices is becoming increasingly important in the electrical contracting industry. This includes using energy-efficient materials and equipment, reducing waste, and promoting renewable energy sources. Electrical contractors can play a role in helping their clients reduce their environmental impact and save money on energy bills. The electrical contracting industry is subject to a variety of regulations at the federal, state, and local levels. These regulations cover everything from licensing and safety to environmental protection and labor standards. Electrical contractors must be aware of these regulations and comply with them to avoid penalties and legal problems. The use of technology is transforming the electrical contracting industry. From computerized design and drafting to mobile apps and cloud-based project management, technology is helping electrical contractors to be more efficient, productive, and profitable. Electrical contractors who embrace technology will have a competitive advantage in the marketplace. The electrical contracting industry is a global industry. Electrical contractors are working on projects all over the world, and they are facing new challenges and opportunities in the global marketplace. Electrical contractors who are able to adapt to the global economy will be well positioned for success. The electrical contracting industry is a complex and ever-changing field. Electrical contractors must be lifelong learners, constantly updating their knowledge and skills to stay ahead of the curve. This includes attending training courses, reading industry publications, and participating in professional organizations. The electrical contracting industry is a rewarding career path for those who are passionate about electricity and technology. Electrical contractors have the opportunity to make a real difference in their communities, providing essential services that improve the lives of others. By upholding ethical standards, promoting safety, and embracing innovation, electrical contractors can build successful and fulfilling careers.